These days, filing GST returns is a major compliance for businesses. Be it under the regular or composition GST schemes, it involves reporting tax liabilities based on inward supplies, outward supplies, imports, exports, and additional interest or cess charges. Hi, I am Tushar Bakshi, a startup advisor at Set India Biz, where we provide tax, compliance, and IPR services to startups. In this video, I will specifically explain the process of filing GST returns under the composition scheme. The topics I will cover include: number 1, eligibility to file GST composition returns, composition return forms and details, annual and quarterly GST composition return filing process, and due date for filing GST composition returns. Stay tuned till the end for detailed explanations. But first, let me give you an overview. GST composition scheme was originally introduced for smaller taxpayers. It simplified the GST return filing process and reduced the tax rates to a great extent so that taxpayers can get rid of unnecessary compliance burden. Moreover, unlike the regular GST returns filed on a monthly basis, GST composition returns are only filed annually and quarterly. To get started, taxpayers must first enroll themselves as a composition dealer. Let's check the eligibility for this process. Who is eligible to file GST composition returns? Generally, taxpayers with annual turnover not exceeding Rs 1.5 crores can enroll under the GST composition scheme. However, certain categories remain ineligible despite being well below the turnover limits. These include GST exempted taxpayers, casual taxpayers, manufacturers of ice cream, tobacco or pan masala, e-commerce suppliers and operators, interstate suppliers, non-resident Indian NRI taxpayers, TDS deductors, and input service distributors. So, if your business falls into any of these categories, you won't be eligible to get enrolled under the composition scheme or file its tax returns. But if you are eligible and enrolled, your GST return filing process will begin on the GST portal. We will discuss the steps in a little while now. Before that, learn about the forms and details you need. Composition GST return filing forms and details. Under the composition scheme, GST returns are filed both annually and quarterly. For filing annual returns, we use the GSTR-4 form, whereas for filing quarterly returns, we use the CMP-08 form. It's important to note that annual returns can only be filed if all quarterly returns for that tax period have been successfully submitted. Here are a few crucial details you'll need. Inward supplies from registered suppliers, inward supplies from unregistered suppliers, data on imported services and the associated IGST, TDS or TCS credit, and late fees or interest. The more accurately these details are filed, the quicker your GST return will get processed. Now, let's move on to the process. How to file annual and quarterly GST composition returns. The entire process of filing GST composition returns, be it annually or quarterly, can be completed on the official GST website. First, access the return dashboard and open the file return page. For quarterly returns, enter the financial year and the quarter. Then open the CMP-08 form. For annual returns, select the financial year and open the GSTR-4 form. You can choose to fill out the forms online or download them for offline submission. Once you have got access to the forms, begin by entering the required tax details. This includes self-assessment tax for quarterly returns and the previous year's turnover for the annual return. If you have no tax liabilities or outward supplies, you can file a nil return. After entering all the details correctly, save, preview, and download a copy of the form. Next, check your tax payable and the e-cash ledger balance. If the e-cash ledger has enough balance, use it to pay the liable tax amount. If not, generate a challan and pay the additional amount via net banking, check, demand draft, NEFT or RTGS. After the payment, agree to the given declaration and select the authorized signatory. Use EVC, DSC or STAK to verify the form. EVC will be sent to the authorized signatory's registered mobile number. DSC can be uploaded as a file and STAK can be generated on the GST Secure application. Finally, after completing the verification process, submit the return form online or upload to the portal. Check GST return status to know its progress. Learn the process of checking the status in the video linked below. We are left with one more important question to answer before ending this video. What's the due date for filing GST Composition Returns? The due date for filing the annual GST Composition Returns is 30th April, while the due date for quarterly returns is the 18th of the month following the end of quarter. If these returns are not filed on time, late fees will be charged. For annual returns, the late fee applicable is Rs 50 per day, up to a maximum of Rs 2000. If the return is nil, the maximum late fee is Rs 500. For CMP-08 quarterly returns, the late fee is Rs 200 per day, up to a maximum limit of Rs 5000. And that's it for this video. Hopefully, you have understood every detail about the GST Composition Return filing. If you still have any questions to ask, post them in the comment section or talk to our advisors directly. Contact details are given in the description below. Found this video helpful? Hit the like button and share with your friends. Subscribe to our channel for more informative content ahead. Thanks for watching. Watch out our other videos as well.